Before any of you start asking, yes, I do have a degree myself. I have studied at university, and trust me, believe you me, that's about $100,000 down the toilet that I'll never get back. And that's the worst thing about university, the costs. The costs of all these units, all these degrees, all this work. You spend all this time studying only to find yourself mired in debt for the rest of your life. But hey, who knows? Maybe you might get one of those cool, fun, nice jobs that also happens to pay a lot of money. Probably not. You'll probably just be poor forever. Well, you know, I guess it beats not having an education. The thing is, though, it truly amazes me that people on graduation day, they'll throw their hats up in the air as if to say, well, hey, yeah, I finally got my degree. Once again, you still have to deal with that crushing weight of debt just absolutely pulverizing you like capitalism incarnate. But you know what? I gotta sit around on some beanbags and brainstorm all day long, or I got to stare at a page or at a screen all day. And also as well, I got to listen to people's wonderful opinions about the world, politics, life. There was actually this one moment where there was a girl in my class who constantly talked about, oh, I'm very liberal. I was raised in a very liberal household. Yes, I consider myself to be very progressive. Listen how progressive I am as I brag about what I believe in politically. First of all, you're not a liberal. That's a stupid Americanism. Americans call themselves liberal in the sense of being progressive. Whereas if you come from the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and also Canada to a certain extent, if you say liberal, what you actually mean by that is conservative because of classical liberalism, also known as Margaret Thatcherism. Checkmate, bitch. Something else that really annoys me about university is all these hipster teachers that are wearing those giant colourful glasses as if to say, yes, I do read, but I don't have a personality, so I make up for it with flashy glasses. You look like a stupid, smug, snooty, snobbish douchebag. Yet another problem with university are the stupid assessments that you're given. I had to write blog posts for one of my units. I had to write a blog. Just what? Why would a curriculum assign that to the student body? It's just such a stupid, oh yeah, write down whatever you think. Write down your own personal thoughts about creativity. Wait, what? How do you critique that? How can anybody critique that? It's impossible. It is just meaningless shit. How is this supposed to be an actual real assessment? This is just... The only thing that these people test is my patience. And I'm not actually even kidding. Like, how do you critique a blog? It is just such a subjective thing. You just can't. Oh my God. I hated university. I hated it so incredibly much. Shit on a chandelier. I hate university. The snobby, over-the-top teachers, the stupid, self-absorbed, rich kids that think they're better than everybody else, looking down their noses at all the poors, looking down their noses with contempt if someone says something that they don't agree with, a face like a slapped ass. That's the kind of people that go to university, smug, smarmy, smirking pricks. And once again, if you talk back to these people, if you say anything that they don't like, they shun you, they shut you out. Just, how can people say that universities are very liberal and progressive, or bloody hell, people even as well say woke if you talk to conservative media, but that's not my experience. My experience of people at university is that they're a bunch of arrogant arseholes. Kind of like my mother to a certain extent, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, all jokes aside, seriously though, I hate these people. There's a special place in hell for them. They need a proctologist because they've got their heads stuck up their own arse. And why do university students, why are they always pictured sitting on the grass? That is actually something that does kind of amaze me, because when I was at university, if I wanted to sit down, I'd just go and find a desk. I'd find a desk and a chair. Why do people constantly sit around on the grass all day long? Maybe perhaps they're attempting to try to subtly suggest that by sitting on the grass, that might be code for smoking grass. No. I'm kidding, obviously. But, who knows? Maybe perhaps it might be a 420 friendly wink wink nudge nudge clue. Alright, well, I'm getting towards the end of my rant, so what else can I really say other than don't study at university, learn a trade and start working. Don't waste your life. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant.